This podcast is aimed at the veteran community. It hopes to recreate a conversation taking place in any naffy anywhere in the world right now. We want to combat social isolation by letting veterans feel part of this conversation. If you're easily offended, please switch off now. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to this channel and be part of the community.
Evening everyone, and welcome to Veterans in Crisis podcast. Today we have Harvey Lough. Harvey is a serving RAF person. I didn't even know what to call it then. Welcome, mate. You all right?
How you doing?
You all right? Thanks for coming in
Yeah,
today.
no, thanks very much for having me, man.
No, it's all right, man. Well, I thought, because we always have veterans on, and I thought it would be nice to have someone who's actually just joined to get your take on things. So if there's anything you don't want to talk about or you can't talk about, just say it, you know, and all it is just a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, we normally start off with childhood, but like you're just basically out of your childhood, aren't you? How old are you?
I'm 19 now.
19,
Yeah.
so it's going to be difficult for me to remember you about your childhood. So I know you from Sunderland. I know your parents. I know all your family and everything. So how sort of this came about you joining was your mum sort of buy stuff, fix merchandise.
Yeah.
And then she told me that you just joined and you find it a little bit tough, just, you know, like everybody does.
Yeah, I was, yeah. It was the first 2 weeks mainly, and everyone that I spoke to before said the first 2 weeks are the hardest. And it's always just like, oh, this is what I've always wanted to do, like, I'll get through it sort of thing. And you just sort of put that to the back of your mind. But no, it's that first 2 weeks because it's the initial change from being a civilian to then becoming like part of the military. Like waking up earlier, like some days you're waking up at 4:30, you're making your beds, like normal stuff now, but stuff that you didn't really do beforehand, because obviously you're with a bunch of young lads and lasses as well. But that was another thing that helped, like the lads and lasses that are there, they're all in the same situation, do you know what I mean? Obviously you do.
I mean, I found it. I did a podcast myself last week, and I spoke about that myself. When I first went, I hated it. Like, so when your mum come to pick us gave up and she said, I was like, fuck, I know exactly how he feels. You know?
And then obviously you gave my mum your number and you reached out to me, and we had a few conversations. And obviously you'll have seen me like sort of progress with obviously when we were talking and stuff. I remember when I was first talking to you, it was like before I was going to the mess and stuff like that, and I was like, I was struggling, do you know what I mean? It's just being away from home and stuff. And then a few weeks later, we were doing the CS gas with the respirators and stuff, and like we're having a laugh and stuff about that.
I remember you saying it was, when do you get some sleep? You said that.
And you were like, you didn't? You didn't?
Just all the time. Even the RF, you'd be getting loads of sleep now, mate.
Oh, mate, I am. It's great.
12 hours.
Easy life now.
12 hours, aye. So where did you do your training?
It's at RAF Halton. They're on about changing it, like, because it's getting dated now. Obviously, they're putting a lot of money into other things, and they haven't got the fun. But it's still a brilliant environment to learn in. All the staff there are really professional and that. And but yeah, it's in Halton, just outside of London. So location's decent as well for when you get like weekend leave and like in Dodge into London and stuff.
Did you, once the 2 weeks was over and you started enjoying it, do you do much fitness in the RF?
Basic training, yes. Now, because I've got such a long phase 2, my phase 2 is around 16 months.
Because I've got such a long face.
I know. Because I've got such a long phase 2, it's around 16 months, and it's like regulation for you to do phys during your phase 2. So I'm getting phys quite a lot, with it being 16 months, but there's some lads who do like 30 weeks, even less, and then it's up to you, sort of thing.
So you don't do any, because we had someone from the Navy on, and they said like as soon as they finish training, basically for the rest of your career, it was down to you to do your to like keep fit. Depending
on the career role, obviously, if you're doing like if you're like RAF Reg or something like that, then you will be training. But the trade I'm going into is like mechanical aircraft technician. So once I'm out of my phase 2 training, which will be around 9 months, I'm just left to my own devices sort of thing. They'll teach me how to keep fit now, and then once I'm out, it's up to me to pass fitness tests.
And do you think you will?
Oh, I love it. I'm at the gym all the time.
It's a good thing. It's a good stress
I
reliever.
really enjoy it. It is. It takes your mind off it. Like go down the gym with a couple of lads or football pitches and that. Just have a game of footy.
What's your trade gonna be?
It's mechanical aircraft technician. So it's everything to do with like the physical aspect of the aircraft. So you've got like weapons techs that obviously do the weapons. You've got survival equipment fitters that do like the parachutes, stuff like that. You've got the AV technicians, they do all the electronics. And then us lads were like the airframe propulsion systems, so like engine, hydraulics, undercarriage, all that sort of stuff.
So will you be like sort of fixing cars and stuff like in your own time? Is that the sort of
yes,
stuff?
Yes, it's that sort of stuff. Aye.
Well, I mean, that's always going to be good for you if you decide to leave, isn't it?
Well, that's another thing. It's qualifications. I'm getting like military equivalent to civilian qualifications, so it's going to open up doors for me, and I'm really, really grateful for that.
Well, a lot of people, obviously I joined the infantry, and a lot of people were saying, you should have took something where you had a trade, but that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to basically be an infantryman, you know what I mean? And that was on my mind, like, but I mean, I don't know if I was clever enough to get a trade anyway, to be honest. You know, they seem to be pretty keen on us just being in the infantry, so I don't remember anybody trying to change my mind. So if we come back to you, after your 2 weeks, you're feeling a little bit better. Do you want to just sort of gone through your training for us? Because like, me being in the army, it'll have been a lot different.
I know, all right. So it's 10 weeks altogether. You start off, and like I said, it's just like adapting to a military lifestyle sort of thing. So you're getting up early, getting shouted at and that, and all that good stuff.
Getting shouted at, There's a lot of shouting in there.
Oh, there's loads of shouting.
Isn't there?
Loads of shouting.
You know, you're not miles away. There's no need for it.
Just calm down.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So I'm sure there's no need for that shouting. Like.
But so that's the first 2 weeks. And then you go on to, it's like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a more, like you start handling rifles, learning sort of like fieldcraft, first aid. So you do like first aid, weapons, stuff like that. And you do that for like 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. And then your last week, it's called Exercise Blue Warrior. And it's basically, you put everything you learn in those 3 weeks sort of into practice. So you go out in the field, and obviously you're living in tents and that. And
tents.
Well, so it's a sheet in between trees, you know what I mean? So that sort of stuff. And it's not, because you've done all that sort of stuff before, it's not really that difficult. I mean, in the RAF, you've got like chefs and stuff like that, like musicians that are literally there just to play music, do you know what I mean? You've got like a wide variety of trades, so it's not that hard. And by the time you get to that stage, you've gelled with your mates and you've got like mates for life. So really like rolling about in the mud and that's good. It's a good laugh when you get there. And then when you come back out of that, that's like your 7th, 8th week. You've got a couple of weeks left. And that's basically sort of refining your skills, getting ready for sort of graduating and going on to your trade. So I remember we got back from that and we had a weekend, and it was meant to be like a week, like a rest weekend. But you had inspection on the Monday. So we just got absolutely fucked about, really. You got to move rooms and that. And so we had to get all this kit clean, caked in mud, but we had to move rooms and stuff. So it was just all that. And Corporal came in on the Monday morning and we thought we were all going to get bollocked. He came in and he went, right, lads, get shouting. He went, you've all passed for me now. You've done that. That's the hard stuff. We're going to have a laugh now. And he went round the room, sort of took the piss out of us on that, and we'll give him a bit back. And that's when I knew like it was for me. Oh, you know, when you do the hardest stuff. And then we had a good last 2 weeks, and obviously I'm with my mates now in my phase 2. And
when I got in contact with you, I knew somebody who was in, didn't I? Who joined with you.
You did, I saw.
Sorry, did you get we kind of back squatted?
Reflighted in the RAF.
Reflighted,
aye. Well, he was actually on a run with me at the time. We were doing like a partnered run. It was like a cross country type run, and we were about a week away from finishing. And he's one of my good mates now. Actually, I speak to him all the time. He's at Cosford with us. But we were running, and what it was, we had to run up this hill to like a checkpoint, run back, run up to another checkpoint, and run back. So I was a fit lad. So I run first, came back. He ran, came back. I ran to the next one, came back, and he ran up. A few minutes had passed, and I think, what the fuck's going on here? So I go to the PTI, I'm like, can I have a run up? Because he shouldn't be taking this long. So see if he's all right. I went up and he rolled his ankle on a rock. So gone back down, and he ended up having to be there for another 2-3 weeks or something like that. So he obviously got reflighted about a week away from finishing. So he was good, like, but obviously still.
He's out now, though, isn't he?
He is out,
So
yeah.
is he a technician like you as well?
He's a survival equipment fitter. So he's a type of technician working on all the obviously the parachutes and stuff like that, survival equipment in the aircraft.
He's fighting. He's boxing, isn't he?
Aye, he's been boxing for the RAF actually. He's doing all right.
That's what me because he's me mate's nephew, and he said he was going to be getting.
He's been boxing for the RAF.
Is there any sports you want to tap up like with him?
At the minute, I'm concentrating just on me because it's quite heavy. Quite a lot of stuff to know, but when I get out on the squadron, I want to be start playing football again. Maybe get back to cycling and stuff like that. Aye.
Nice. So when you're in the forces, like that's one of the good things, isn't it? If you're good at a sport,
Well,
they'll look after you. You know what I mean? And you think, well, you're at work, but you're doing all this sport. You're getting paid. You know what I mean? So it does have a plus sports. I mean, the shouting and the bullshit parts is crap, right? But
it is, but a lot of the time I don't feel like I'm at work. Do you know what I mean? Especially doing the job that I'm doing. I understand for a lot of people in the forces, they've had very, very different experiences to me. I feel like that's why I'm very fortunate to be in the trade I'm in, because I wake up, go to work with all my mates and that, and just messing about planes and stuff, and then you come for your dinner and that with your mates, go to the gym on the night, play footy, go for a few pints and that. It's just, you're always together, you're always with the lads.
do you work like 9 till 5?
Sort of. We get up, muster at 8, we're in the hangar, and then get our coveralls on, we're working. It's like an hour and a half, then we have a bit of time off, like just have a break and that, and then another hour off, then dinner, and it just goes on like that until 5. It's usually early chin-offs, like, it's rough now.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. So people watching who are not military, like the joke in the military is like the RAF stopping hotels and stuff like that, don't they? So is that why you chose it?
Aye.
I admire your honesty, mate. I admire your honesty. I wish I knew about. I wish I knew about sort of the things, how hard it was in the sort of army compared to that. I mean, I think I would have probably still. I think I probably would have still joined the infantry, like. But you know, like it's weird later on that you find out all these things. You know, I mean,
once you're in, once you're in,
once you're in, you know, and I've seen RAF lads, and I've had them on here, and their experience is totally different to my experience. You know, I mean, in a good way for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like not so good for me. You know, we had someone in the other day, actually, Mal. He was in a thing called the repatriation unit, where they fly the sort of dead bodies back. You know, or the sort of, if something happens, say, to your family, they'd get you wherever you are and get you home. And it's amazing, because I never knew there was a thing like that. I mean, he said you wouldn't know unless something bad happened. You know, but he said that they've got people who still with dust on them off the desert in Iraq and stuff, and got them on the plane and got them through, check out. It's an amazing thing, that. Like.
It is, aye. It's absolutely amazing what they can do in obviously like environments like that.
I mean, you're well looked after.
Definitely.
Looked after.
Well, funnily enough, before I joined, it was quite a while before I joined, it was just sort of an idea at the time. And I sort of always knew it was going to be the forces. I didn't know whether to go Navy or Army. And the lad I was playing football with, well, it was one of the football coaches at the time. I was talking to him about it, and he was like, "Oh, I was ex-Navy." I was like, "Oh, what's it like?" He went, "Join the RAF." So that's...
is that how it come about?
Well, that's how I started getting serious about it, and then obviously spoke to some people on that, craze officers and that, and then it just sort of, everything that they were saying, not all of it's true, obviously, but everything that they were saying sort of felt like that's what I want to do. And although, obviously, some of it's sugar-coated and that, I've got in, and I love it.
I mean, when do you reckon the first time that you decided you wanted to join the military, like?
It sounds a bit daft, like, but when I was younger, obviously living here, it's on an air show and that, like, I don't know, I was just impressed by it. Obviously seeing the Red Arrows display and that, but seeing when I was younger, I saw like the Harrier and that was still serving, so I saw like the Harriers and all that sort of stuff. I was just fascinated by it. And I think it just sort of, it was in there, just sort of came from there. It was always in my head. There isn't really anything else I wanted to do.
It was the same with me. I didn't. I think I made my decision when I was about 7, something like that.
And
You know,
you just
because
stuck with
I
it.
stuck with it. I didn't have a plan B, which is a fucking stupid idea. Like, you know, but when you're young, you didn't think of that, do you?
No, not
you
at
know?
all.
And then things happen in your life, and then the way your life pans out is different, you know. But I mean, I've got knee queries about what's happened to me, you know. I've enjoyed every minute of my life up till now. Right up until this moment.
This moment, absolutely.
I took the right turn for the worse since I met you. So, where are you posted at the minute?
I'm at RAF Cosford now.
So where's that?
It's just outside Birmingham.
Outside of Birmingham.
Aye. It's a decent location, to be honest. It's far enough outside for you to like not have all the hustle and bustle and that, but it's sorry for a night out.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
So, because I did where did I go? Somewhere side Birmingham, I can't remember what it's called now. I did like where you go to join the army, you spend 2 days down there.
All right. Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. I went there, and Birmingham's a massive place, isn't it?
It's huge.
Aye,
It's quite intimidating at first. Like,
well,
it's
exactly.
quite
Aye,
frightening.
that's what I was thinking. Aye. So, do you get out in Birmingham much?
I do. Shopping and that's decent there. It's like, again, all the lads are always there. So if you want to do out, you just give them a text, go over to the block. Yeah, lads, you fancy going out? Fancy any?
But you've got a car, haven't you?
I have, so I can just dodge in and out. It's only about 20 minutes.
Oh, is it?
It's not too far.
Oh,
so
that's spot on.
Spot on.
Well, you'll be there for another 9 months?
About that 9-10 month, aye.
And then, have you got any idea where you'll get posted?
No, I've got some places I might want to go.
How does it work? Do you get a choice?
They reckon you get 3 choices, but whether you get anything like that,
You get 3 choices and you end up
get
going
3
where they
choices.
want you to go.
Aye, if they need you somewhere, that's where you'll be. Do you know what I mean? But
So have you got anywhere in mind that you would fancy?
I've been thinking about Bryce, just because of the large aircraft, the air-to-air lift sort of stuff, like the Hercules and all that sort of stuff I'm interested in. I think working on the Red Arrows would be good, just for the travel, getting about and that. And then maybe Fast Jet Typhoon, Coningsby, something like that. Just because that's what I'm interested in, really, and that's what I've...
Is there places abroad where you get posted? Must be.
Yeah, so there's like Cyprus, Gibraltar, Ascension Islands and the Falklands are our permanent bases abroad.
Well, I think about at least half the people that's been on here has been to Cyprus.
I'm not surprised.
And they've all loved it. Like,
Not
they've all loved it. Apparently you start work early, finish early because of the sun.
Aye. Well, one of my good mates, his dad was a WO2 in the army, and they lived out there for 4 or 5 years. He didn't want to come back.
Aye. So maybe think of that.
Aye.
Think of Cyprus. What's your plans while you're home on leave? You haven't got much longer left, have you?
I'll go back on the 5th. Just chilling out, really. Just do it like when we were having a big crack earlier, just doing normal stuff. Do you know what I mean?
It's different, isn't it? How do you feel about going back?
Like I say, I love what I do in that, but it's still work, innit? You're still going back to work and you've still got that long drive. And
I didn't like it when,
it's not.
Even at, sort of right at the end, I still didn't like going back. So you would have thought I would have got used to it 5 years, but
You still dreaded it.
I still dread it every time, and I never wanted to go back. You know, I mean, at the end, I didn't like the army anyway, but I just didn't like that feeling of leaving. But I didn't like it when I first joined. I was homesick and stuff, you know, and it's weird, isn't it? It's just
It is.
I mean, I've never worked away in another kind of job, so I wouldn't know if it's the same for everything. But I mean, it's just rules, isn't it? And like when you get there, it's just weird.
Rules that don't make sense as well. There's a lot of stuff like every day we're saying, well, there's no logic in that.
We mention that on this every podcast we do. We'll mention rules that don't make any sense.
It's true, though, isn't it? There's loads of them. Like,
and what's the point of them? You know, there's rules just for rules.
Just to have them. It would be easier not to have them because then you don't have to pay somebody to enforce it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. And that's one of the bullshitty things that sort of turned me off the army. Like, I mean, all the kind of ceremonial stuff I had to do when I was in Berlin, I didn't like that. The soldiering bit was good, but the marching around and stuff like that.
Why'd you not enjoy that? Like,
that's shit. I just wanted to go in the field and be like a soldier, you know. Like,
that's what you joined up for.
Being an island and stuff like that, I just hated polishing my boots and, you know, the bullshit of it was just rubbish. Like, and they used to say like the eyes of the world are on you because you're in Berlin and like the Russians and stuff and it's a lot of shit really. That's just wasn't for me. Like, I don't know how these people join like the guards and stuff, you know, and that's just their job to sort of stand outside of Buckingham Palace.
It's not something I could do. Like,
No, I mean, do you have to do much ceremonial stuff?
no, not really. No, because you've got like the RAF regiment, which sort of pride themselves on that. They've got like the Queen's Colour Squadron and that. They do all that, and just don't really get involved. At the minute, I'm doing a lot because Cosford is where they basically get people from if they haven't got enough, because we're all sort of still training. We haven't got important jobs. So Cosford's sort of the, so like if anything happens to the royal family, any sort of death or anything like that, we'll be like the ones lining the streets of London for the parades and stuff like that. But once I come out of training, I probably won't have much to do with parades and stuff like that.
Are you happy about that?
I'm not sad about it. Like, it's not something I'm mad about. I'm not a massive fan of it.
No, it wasn't for me. Like I say, people join the guards and stuff because they must want to do that sort of stuff, but no, it wasn't for me. I mean, Northern Ireland was probably the best part of my career because that's what I wanted to do. I think any other kind of part of the army wasn't for me. Like, and which is a shame, really. You know, I think about it all the time. I think if other parts I would have stayed in, if I'd liked the other bits. But I mean, even when they talk about Cyprus and say how brilliant it was, you still got rules.
You're still at work.
And you've still got these rules that don't make any sense.
And you can't force yourself to like something you don't, can you?
No. And I didn't like people shouting at us, to be honest.
You're in the wrong career then, weren't you?
I was. I realised that really quickly, to be honest. On the first day, when everyone was shouting, I was thinking, don't know if I like this too much. Like, so you used to play football, Canny standard, didn't you?
I used to play a bit,
All right. So, you want to talk about that a bit?
Was all just
your dazzling football career?
It was all just Sunday League stuff. Like, again, that's another thing that I think sort of set me up right. Again, being with a team of lads and obviously having one goal and having to work together. Like I captained a couple of the teams I played for. But it's the same sort of mindset, whether you're at work on aircraft or you're trying to win a game of football. It's a team of lads against another team of lads or lasses with one common goal. Do you know what I mean? And it sort of brings you together, and it's that sort of team dynamic that drew me to the military as well, because that's what I enjoy doing. That's what I've always thrived in, that environment. So I think football and sport in general sort of helped me a lot in sort of my life up to now. Hasn't just been something to do. Do you know what I mean? It's taught me things, and it's helped me. Like,
I think sport's a great thing.
It is definitely
a team spirit with things. It's great. I mean, you can have that in, like, we like to in this fixed building. The team spirit's brilliant, you know, and that's not now to do with sport, but it's the same type of thing that we try to bring in, like, with the clients and the staff, and it's a good thing.
Same attitude.
It is, because then you'll push each other on, you know, to do stuff with one common goal, like you said.
And that's another thing as well. When we're playing football, it's like somebody's having a bad game, you're encouraging them, you're getting them to. I mean, sometimes you might be doing, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got to come over that, and you've got to sort of like encourage people. And it's the same at work. It's just some people have bad days. Some people are missing home. Some people are.
Have you been to watch Sunderland since you've been home?
It's the worst thing I've done since I've been home, man. Went on Boxing Day, I hadn't seen my granddad for ages, my uncle and my cousin and that, my dad, and we all took my granddad for his Christmas present. I think we ruined his Christmas. Like,
well, it's funny because we get loads of free tickets from the club and people buy us that.
Give them back.
No, I always think like I'm sending people who's got mental health problems there, you know what I mean? It's a proper
I'm not
shame.
doing them any good.
No, but like because we wouldn't, so Boxing Day, not Boxing Day, yesterday's game, we won, beat Doncaster. Hopefully that's a turning point.
I know.
Sick of these fucking turning points. Never seems to work, does it?
It's just Boxing Day, man. It's boring. It's just boring.
I didn't even.
And it's a shame to say, like, because obviously I've been going to the games. Well, before I joined the RAF, I had a season ticket. Well, I don't know how long, and I love going. And hopefully we can get back to where we were. Like, 'cause it's a shame what's happened.
Oh, it's terrible. Boxing Day is my favourite game, and I never went. I've got a season ticket. I watched it in the pub instead, and then I lost my season ticket.
You lost your season ticket?
I don't know where it's gone, so I'm going to have to go and get another one off them. You know, I'm holding out like and thinking, do I really want it?
Do I really want another one?
I
just come back to the pub.
I think they just kind of charges a minimal cost, I would imagine. Well, I hope so anyway. Or they might just give us one for free, since we're shit. Well, I had footballers around the other day. We had Grant Ledbetter. He came with Kevin Ball and Conor McLaughlin, I think. And Grant's going to do this. He's going to do a podcast, all right, next week.
Sunderland one.
No,
Oh, he's going to be back here.
He's coming here, right?
Aye.
He's coming here, right? I was really interested. They sat down, had a big crack, and he says, "Oh, I'll do one for you," like so. Hopefully that's going to be all right. I've had Kevin Ball on. I'm hoping to get Jordan Pickford. Like that's what I really want. Like I'm really properly looking forward if I can get him to come on. Like because he made a massive difference wearing the t-shirts when he come back from the World Cup because they sell loads then. Like they sell loads. So what you got planned for tonight? Out?
Nah, chilling out tonight. I'm out in Newcastle tomorrow with some of the Rough lads, funnily enough. My mate Shane are coming up. I mean, they're only local anyway. Shane's York and Al's from Durham. I think that's how we've gelled as well, like being from similar areas and that you've already got that sort of backbone. So they're coming up. Go to Newcastle. Hopefully have a good one.
Oh, nice one. Well, I mean, is Sol not gone?
I'm not sure. I haven't spoken for a few days actually. See what he's doing.
So he's Scott, his uncle. He I served with him. You know, that's so we're really close. Like, so it was weird that was happening.
But I was just it blew my mind. Like I just come off the phone with you, and you know, there's somebody there called Stark, like Sol Stark. So I think so. So I come off the phone with you, went in the next room. I get Sol. Do you know Jer? He's get. My uncle knows him. Now I've just been on the phone with him.
Oh, it's crazy like that. That helped you gel, didn't it? I mean,
100%.
I mean, I know that he was like sort of right into it anyway. But it's always nice if you get somebody, if you know somebody from back home in it.
Well, it is. And obviously coming from Sunderland as well. Just having that in common, it really helped. And then a few of the other lads who were like talking about like home and that, and then a few of the other lads, one of the lads, Dan, he was from Easington Way. He sort of overheard us and we got talking to him and that, and then it was just another thing to like sort of bring you together. And you find that anywhere you go, there's always something in common. There's always something to have a bit crack about and that. And it's good bringing people together. And I think that's what, obviously the military's got a lot of negatives, and I think you've got to sort of take the positives while you can. Do you know what I mean? They're getting together and they're making mates for life and all that. And
I mean, there will be mates for life. Like,
they are.
I've been on the phone to my mate there who I joined with in 1986. I've just been speaking to him today, and we're going on holiday in 2 weeks' time. You know?
It's mental, isn't it?
It's crazy, aye. You know, and I lost a really close mate who took his own life in 94. And like I was really, really close with him. We actually signed up on the same day, and he was my mate all the way till he died. You know, and it's a really good thing. Like that's one of the best things out of the military. Like the crack with your mates is probably.
I would say it is the best thing about it. Definitely,
because you never get that with anyone else. Like, and the stuff people say to each other, it's just fucking bizarre. Like you know, you couldn't get away with it in normal life, can you?
No, but I think but it's just there's no filter, but that's all right because. Doesn't matter what you're doing in the military, you're all doing, if everybody's doing like your trade, you're all doing the same job. So obviously all the infantry lads will have their crack, all the mechs, all the AVs will have their crack. And then you've got it against each other. So there's a thing like AVs hate mechs because we're all heavy-handed, knuckle draggers and that. But obviously we hate them because they just tinker about with wires and boxes and that. But obviously we all work together to get the planes in the air and that. So you've got that crack and you've got that balance and that bit of banter to sort of like laugh your way through.
Well, I think dark humour in it. I mean,
it is, huh?
Because there's horrible stuff happen, so you've got to have a laugh about it. If you didn't, everyone would be depressed, wouldn't they?
They would, huh?
That's all the wait till they're leaving, they're depressed. Because you can't mention it when you're in there, can you?
No, because it brings down morale, doesn't it?
But it does, man. It does. And you'll never get promoted as well.
No.
If you see you're depressed, no. Nobody will want to promote you. Well, they'll say, well, he can't be in charge of people if he's depressed.
You know, I think that's a thing that maybe needs to change in the military.
Does. People should be able to speak about it more.
Out, and it is changing. You can see it now. It is changing, and there's people there to go to and that. And I think that's something that definitely needs to be addressed more.
Well, I think in society in general now,
100%,
people are talking about it a lot more, and I think hopefully doing stuff like this, people see that, you know, people can see that it's all right to talk about mental health, and people can have sort of downtime, you know, and it's all right. You know, there's no point in moaning about it. Like, people are going to be depressed at some stage, so people should talk about it.
Definitely reach out. Say something.
Right, mate. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having us, Joe.
You-
I've really enjoyed it, man.
Have you? You
I have,
can come back on again.
I will
Come
do.
back on again when you've finished your training. You get your first posting.
I will do, mate.
All right.
Definitely.
Do you want to say anything to anyone at camp?
Oh, you've put us under pressure now, like. It's hard to put your finger on it, like.
You don't have to.
No?
No. All right.
Say them in a few days.
All right. Nice one. Thank you very much. Cheers, man.